Right.
Or whatever. But what I am sure about is you know, the silly, or not silly, deeper Spider-Man line, right? With great power is great responsibility.
Yeah.
And I think that if you're a YouTuber, if you're an Instagrammer, a podcast host, if you're a comedian, if you're a basketball player, I don't really care. And obviously this is huge scales. We're not comparing what we do to a political person or to Muhammad Ali, but you know, the scales to this thing. I do think that if you're going to reap any benefit from what you do, money, popularity, sponsorships, free shit, whatever you're gonna do, if you're gonna reap any benefit from what you do, you also have to be a responsible human, a moral human, with what you're doing. I think I've done a good job at that. That's something that I've been self-aware enough from the beginning. I got on Instagram and the podcast came out with Jim back in the day. I started getting some following. I'm like, I got to make sure I'm doing my best to put out the best fitness information. I got to make sure that when I make a joke or a funny video, or I'm trying to do a skit, that I'm not offending people, that I'm not being rude, that I'm not hurting anyone's feelings. I got to be aware, and I've probably been wrong. There's no doubt that I've made mistakes, but they're never on purpose. But I got to make sure that who I associate with is who I believe in, and that's why I do majority of my business with Jim, majority of my business with Omar Isov, and that's, you know, like my circle is small, but there's the people that I believe are on the same moral compass as me, and that's who I associate with. Even on this podcast, like who we may have on, who we may not have, we do some research and see like what are their beliefs. We're not going to come on here and answer, does sugar make you fat? And then go find someone with zero credentials or that's off the ripper, right? Like we want someone that has some study background, some applicable background, and has some validity to what they have to say. And I guess that's my TED Talk for the day.
Well, you know, we met in a situation, and I feel like I created a situation along with your help and others where we did have a platform, and not everybody that we dealt with treated the platform with the same reverence that you and I did.
Yeah, and I think that's, you know, sadly not uncommon.
It's not uncommon,
yeah.
And that obviously has happened again with somebody that we don't actually interact with anymore. I got a lot of messages from people I've known for a really long time who came to me and said, "What the fuck?" And all I could say is, you know, it wouldn't have happened on my watch. I wouldn't have agreed to platform someone who had an anti-science opinion. This show is built around the fact that you and I are not people who are experts on things. We bring in experts to tell us, and we vet that, as you said, like we look at what their actual qualifications are, and
their content and their past, and
and we've passed on, you know, almost as many people as we've had in terms of, you know, and we get pitches all the time from people, and I don't understand the drive for hype. I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I don't know. And again, not that we're CNN here, although our last guest was on CNN. You know, I don't want to be a doctor, and I don't want to be a quote unquote like science podcast. I want to be entertaining and I want to be funny, but I also don't want to be TMZ.
Right.
And by all means, if you're a content creator, there's sadly, like some of the biggest YouTube content creators ever are drama guys. They do drama between YouTubers or drama between actors, and TMZ's obviously ratings are probably not so good right now, but generally speaking, they're probably really good. And at the end of the day, it is all legal. It's all legal, and it's all what you want to brand yourself. It's all who you are, I guess, hopefully. And I guess that's number one. And shout out Matt McLeod a million times, but he the nicest thing the best compliment I've ever got, probably, he's just said like you're always you. I was like, well, thanks, dude. Like, I think so. And like, that seems like not a good compliment. Like, it seems like a whatever compliment, but, and I'm by no means like big on the internet, but I have a following on the internet, and I don't think a lot of people are them.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm me on my Instagram, I'm me here, I'm me on my Twitch, I'm me on my YouTube. Do I do like skits and act, or do I rev it up, rev it down? Yeah, but I've never not been me. I think for 9 years of this thing, and that is something that I kind of wear with a badge of honor, and I think there's very few of us in that crowd. And I'm not hating on you if you suck. Maybe you are being you and you suck. You know, that might be a lot of people too. I don't know, but I'm maybe too analytical, but I'm I think about everything we put out. I think about how we put it out, how it's going to be taken. I don't want to hurt people's feelings, and it's not just PR. It's not just to always make me look good. It's because we have that responsibility. It's not always just what will 50% facts the brand elevate. It's that's not why we overthink these things. We overthink these things because we know there's a lot of potential listeners. We know there's a lot of you guys tuning in, and we know what we say do has an impact. And I take that responsibility seriously, like Jim said, and I think we always have, and hopefully we always will. Now, will we make mistakes? Maybe we have a fuck up. Maybe I say something that offended someone. Maybe we have a guest on that offended someone. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying that we will be perfect. We may fuck up down the road. But if and when that does happen, I'll probably just come in here and say like, yo, I fucked up.